Hello, this is wmpyr, here to talk about, once again, the traditional Chinese martial arts. So we're talking about like Tai Chi, Wing Chun Kung Fu, Praying Mantis Kung Fu, Bagua, that kind of stuff, versus MMA or Muay Thai kickboxing or some other combat sport, right? The reason why I'm making this video again is because since the last time I talked about this, apparently there's been more fights, and I stopped watching these fights because I was a little disgusted. Why was I disgusted? Because I said to you guys before that the problem is you're getting non-fighters pitted up against fighters. So obviously the non-fighters are getting destroyed, they're getting crushed. That's the problem. But I feel like whoever's making these matches happen, they're making the message, they're spreading the message out that there's something wrong with the style, that the Chinese styles don't work, that they're outdated, and that MMA is the best style and this is what works. I feel like that's the message they're putting out when the real issue here is non-fighters versus fighters. So it's a lie to me. So that's why I'm disgusted. Why are they doing this lie? What for? And usually, I feel like in this world that we live in today, why is always motivated by money? So I kind of feel like, maybe in China they want to make MMA as popular as it is here in the US. If they do that, they can make a ton of money. Certain people can make lots and lots of money with MMA. But maybe right now, they can't do it because of public perception. So they need to manipulate and change public perception because the public perception has been, I guess, brainwashed by their Hong Kong cinema, where Yip Man or those movies, Jet Li movies, reign supreme, and you have the noble kung fu styles that are unbeatable and always beat the bad guys and always beat the foreigners and this kind of thing. And so the public perception is biased towards that. And in order for them to bring in MMA and make tons and tons of money off of that, they need to change the public's view. So I think that's why they're doing this. I really don't agree with that. Um, so I guess well, one thing that I think a lot of people misunderstand when I say, okay, the reason why those kung fu styles are losing to the MMA is not because of the style, but it's because you're getting a non-fighter and pit them up against a fighter, right? So what's the difference between a non-fighter and a fighter? The non-fighter doesn't do full contact training. That's the main difference. The full contact training for competing, for fighting full contact, right? That's, if you do that, you're a pro fighter. That's what makes you a professional fighter. Is the you spar full contact and then you go compete in full contact, and at the very least you start as an amateur and then you become pro, right? That's the way that works. So these non-fighters, they don't do that, or they don't do it as enough of it. Probably pretty much they don't do it, okay? So they don't spar. And so then this is where I think a lot of people, you guys are misunderstanding me, is you go, yeah, that's what's wrong with those styles. Tai Chi, Aikido, Sistema, those guys, they don't spar. Therefore, that style is, fake, or it's not going to work, If they added sparring, then those styles will become better, And this is where I completely disagree with you. And because look, the reason it's kind of difficult to explain this, but I train and teach Eskrima. To this day, I do it, right? I don't do full contact training, and I don't make my students do full contact, okay? I don't do that. I leave that as an option for those that want to pursue it. Please go right ahead. If you are going to do it, maybe I can help you prepare for it, you know? And that's what I've always done. For those that are interested in going full contact, I try to help them out, or at least, at the very least, point them in the right direction. Go to this school. Don't go to that school. They just beat people up. You know, this one, they'll help you learn the techniques first, or, you know, whatever. So, you know, I try to help people out like that, you know, and help them like some people that have come to my school before. They've never done it, so they don't even know to tap. So I'll teach them about tapping, you know, things like that, you know. And anyway, so I don't do it, but I've done it in the past, so I know what it's like. I don't do it now, and I totally understand that if I did full contact training now, that I would become a better fighter. I understand that. But why don't I do it then? Because to me, it's not worth it anymore. Okay? I've experienced it, been there, done that, and if I did full contact training, let's say I would improve this much, okay? But I don't, because of health, because of many reasons. And instead, I do Eskrima training, I do forms, I work on the punching bag, you know, I do push-ups, I do other kind of training, non-full contact training, and let's say it only makes me this much better. I'm okay with that. I understand this is the truth, I accept it, and I'm fine with it, okay? So please understand that. To do fighter training and to maintain that is very difficult as you get older and older, and you're abusing your body. And I'm not even talking about the sparring. I'm just talking about the training alone. It's so hard that you're abusing your body, and then to do full contact training, you know, everybody's different. Now, there are some Vikings out there. There are some phenomenal athletes out there. Well, you know, you guys go do MMA and stuff. You know, go do Muay Thai kickboxing. But for someone like me who's a normal person, or actually in my case, probably below normal, because, you know, for the longest time I've had severe asthma and whatever. So for someone like me, it's definitely not worth it, you know. So I don't do it. And I've met plenty of students that are not as athletic as I am, that are weaker than I am, or that are older than I am. And to them to say, oh, you're interested in self-defense? Go to MMA gym. It doesn't make sense. They wouldn't be able to hack it. I know they wouldn't be able to do it. So why would I send them to go get destroyed? You know, that doesn't make any sense. So I'll train them my way and say to them, hey, this is non-full contact training, so please understand that compared to full contact training, it's not going to help you out as much as in a street for a real life situation. It's not going to help you out as much, but, you know, this is much gentler training. So you should be able to do this. And if you feel confident and you feel like you've graduated and want to go there, hey, be my guest. You know, I'll point you in the right direction. I'll help prepare you for that, you know. But, you know, some people just want to do it as a hobby, or once again, some people just want this much and they're fine with that. And you might be going, well, why don't you want more? Because they can't hack it. They're not capable of it, you know. And you know, an example I could give you guys also is that you look at let's say a village. A village is about to get wiped out because Vikings are going to raid it, okay? So in this village, we have children, men, women, and old people. We have everybody in there, okay? It's obviously better if you train everybody for combat rather than just the youngest, strongest people in the village. If you train everybody and everybody helps, obviously you can do way more. You can accomplish more. Okay? You could set up more traps. You could do, all kinds of things, and the fighters have less to worry about. So, the fighters that go and meet the Vikings head on. But then you got all the support system that you can have. So children know how to take care of themselves. They know where to hide. So the fighters don't have to split themselves up. Okay, you guys go protect the children and the women or whatever. Or so now we can have the women fighting alongside. Now we can have people, making weapons while the fighters train. Or now you can have the old people setting up traps. It's obviously it's better that way. Okay, so not everybody's gonna train the same that way. So all the people that are going to be doing full contact training there are, the strongest, the younger guys, like maybe from 18 to like 25. Those are the guys that are going to be doing the full contact training. And, they're going to be trying to meet with the Vikings. That's going to happen where it's going to meet head on. So that's where they're going to be, And then, but the other people, they need to do a different kind of training, the kind of training that's going to benefit them. Some might be assassins, okay? And that's where I come in. I come in to train people that way. The people that can't do the MMA training, that shouldn't be doing the MMA training, but we could defend ourselves, we can protect people in other ways, because combat and self-defense is very broad, So it's not always about, yes, being able to fight a person off of you is beneficial without a doubt, and it's good to have it, of course. But it also gets to some point, like you bring out Bob Sapp. I no matter how much I train, I'm not going to be able to fight him off of me. So I need to fight him a different way. Period. I can't go head on with this guy. So full contact training is meaningless with this guy. I shouldn't be. If I'm in that kind of situation with this guy, I'm going to get crushed in seconds, So you can't dismiss Tai Chi or Wing Chun or whatever just because they don't do full contact training. If you're 25 years old, you go do MMA, but you have to understand that for other people, you can't say, well, you can't do MMA, therefore you're screwed. If you're going to get mugged, you're going to get raped, you're totally screwed. No, they need to have something. And even if it only helps them this much, they should still have something. And that's where it is. The only important thing is, as long as they know that it's this much, when they start thinking, oh, I could take on an MMA guy, that's a delusion, that's false, that's when it gets scary, that's the problem. So we don't want lies, we want the truth, But what I'm saying is there's a place for these traditional martial arts. So I said to you guys before, there is a full contact version of Tai Chi, and there are full contact fighters, Tai Chi fighters, and if those guys, spread more and increase more in popularity, and there's full contact version of Tai Chi, I go, please, please, please don't lose the non-full contact version of Tai Chi. That is vital. That is vital. So same with Eskrima. There can be a, full contact version of Eskrima, but please keep the non-full contact version as well. So anyway, that's it for now. Hope that makes sense to you guys. Thank you for listening, and take care, folks.